was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and he told me that God even fired him at the right time. I said, God fired you at the right time. He said, yeah, last April I lost my job. He said, but that's not the end of the story. In March, I was praying and I was telling God to please free me because I needed to get out of this situation. He said, the place I was working was just killing my soul and I had to get out of there. So I prayed to God and I just said, listen, when you, he didn't say if, he said, when you get me out of this situation, I'll go wherever you send me. I said, okay, so what happened? He said, well, I waited. He said, and then April, I got a call from HR on this Zoom call with these two devils that were in the conversation telling me that my job had moved to, some other place across the country. And he told me, he said, I was sitting there laughing. I was laughing right in their face. And they were confused at the fact that I'm laughing when they think that they're hurting me by taking this job, right? I said, so what happened? He said, well, after the conversation, we got off the Zoom call and I just sat there because he said, I was just so happy that the blessing had come because I had already prayed. God had freed me. And then he said, I got scared for a second. He said, wait, I just lost my job. How am I going to pay for my mortgage? How am I going to pay for my kids and all of my expenses? So he said, then he got excited. He realized that he had told God where he would go when God freed him. He said, so he knew the blessing had not come. The other half of the blessing had not come. So I said, what'd you do? He said, well, I sat down again. He said, I'm waiting for the other part of the blessing because first I asked God to free me. He did. Now I told him I would go where he was going to send me. So I'm waiting to find out where I'm going. I said, really? He said, yeah. I said, so what happened? He said, well, a couple of weeks later, I had two opportunities. I had an opportunity that would just take care of my needs. It would financially, it would take care of mortgage and college and whatever else I needed, right? He said, but God also gave me a second opportunity. He said, this second opportunity would require me to do more. I'd have to have a longer commute. I'd have to learn new things. I'd have increased income, more blessings, and a more bountiful life, but I'd have to stretch a little bit more for me, right? I'd have to stretch in order to get that blessing. So God gave me free will to decide which one to take. I said, well, what'd you do? He said, man, I thought about it. He said, God blessed me so well. He sacrificed for me. Why would I not sacrifice for him and take his highest blessing? Y'all better think about that.